The morning sun blazed over Willow Creek, a suburban maze of manicured lawns and whispered rules, but Nathan's heart pounded with dread as he skidded to a halt. His pickup truck's tires screeched, kicking up gravel, his tie flapping like a surrender flag. He was late for the job interview that could anchor his unsteady career as a CIVYL engineer. Sweat stung his eyes, but what stopped him cold wasn't time. Overnight, a 6-foot wooden fence, gleaming with fresh stain, had risen across his driveway like a guillotine. Not a flimsy barrier, but a fortress of bolted beams, cemented into the earth, sealing him in his own home. Standing beside it, sipping iced coffee from a mug emblazoned Willow Creek HOA Queen, was Margaret Holt, the Homeowners Association president, her smile sharp as a blade. "Park on the street, Nathan," she said, her voice dripping with VY Tory. "Your driveway disrupts our aesthetic harmony." Nathan's knuckles whitened on the steering wheel. This wasn't just a fence, it was a declaration of war, and he was its first prisoner. He stepped out, boots crunching, pulse hammering. Margaret, in a floral dress and oversized sunglasses, gestured to her creation like it was a monument. "The board voted unanimously," she purred. "Your driveway encroaches on community space. This restores order." Nathan's jaw clenched. He almost laughed, but the stakes crushed any humor. This interview, a senior engineer role at a top firm, was his lifeline after years of freelance scraps. Missing it could ruin him. "This is my property," he growled. Margaret's smirk widened. "Not anymore. It's the community's." She sauntered off, Leah VYing him caged. Nathan's house sat on a private parcel, free from HOA control, a fact he'd memorized as an engineer who studied every zoning map before buying the land a decade ago. His driveway, carved from his deed, was untouchable. Yet Margaret reveled in her power, as if her clipboard rewrote reality. He called the city's zoning office, but there, "We'll check in 2 weeks," was a death sentence. 2 weeks? His career could collapse in 2 days. He parked on the street, sprinted to the interview, Ty Askew, and salvaged a call back despite his disarray. But Margaret's smug face haunted him, her fence a splinter in his mind. That night, under a crescent moon, Nathan paced his property with a flashlight, tracing boundary markers he'd set years ago. His land predated the HOA's sprawl, a subdivision shown built on a developer's gamble, peddling harmony through newsletters and Margaret's iron grip. His 3 deeds house, Eastern Strip, and old farmland were his shield. Few knew, but the HOA's control was fragile, built on lease parcels from a defunct company. Nathan had bought several at auction years ago, dirt cheap, for future projects. One parcel, a jagged triangle slicing through Willow Creek, held a secret. It ran beneath Margaret's house, her marble-floored Levying room, her koi pond, her pristine patio. She'd built her empire on his land, and her fence, blocking his easement, was the spark for his rebellion. He didn't confront her. He let her wave mockingly from behind her fence, tossing citations onto his lawn for unapproved gravel texture. Nathan smiled, his plan crystallizing. She thought she'd trapped him. She didn't know she'd trespassed on his battlefield. Digging through archived plats, he confirmed it. Parcel 17B ran under Margaret's house, its foundation straddling his deed. The HOA's lease on adjacent parcels had expired 18 months ago, unrenewed. Her fence violated his easement, and her home was a squatter. He called Sarah, his lawyer, a zoning expert who'd once forced the city to redraw flood maps. "She built on your land?" Sarah gasped. "She's done." Nathan explained the expired lease, the blockade. "Document everything," she urged. "Photos, drone footage, timestamps." Nathan grabbed his measuring wheel and drone, mapping every inch. The drone's footage, overlaid with zoning lines, was damning. Margaret's house, pond, and patio were his. He filed a boundary confirmation with the county, then marched to City Hall, flannel hiding his intent. The clerk, scanning his deeds, muttered, "This'll be messy." Nathan requested a zoning inspection on Margaret's property, citing encroachment. Standard procedure, he said. The clerk stamped his forms, scheduling a VY sit. He didn't warn Margaret. Let her tape another notice to his mailbox, this one for misaligned birdbath aesthetics. He photographed her, building his arsenal. Days later, the zoning inspector called, bemused. This Margaret woman barred me from her yard, threatened the sheriff over koi pond photos. Nathan handed over his deeds. The inspector's eyes widened. Her house is off boundary. They staked the lines, orange markers dotting Margaret's lawn, framing her home as a trespasser. Sarah grinned at the file. EVYCT her or litigate. Nathan shook his head. He had a bolder, more ruthless plan: sell the land beneath her castle. Let the buyer EVYCT her. He listed parcel 17B publicly, with zoning details and aerials spotlighting Margaret's house. Within 48 hours, 3 buyers beat a developer eyeing condos, a tech firm planning a solar hub, and a rival HOA seeking leverage. All had deep pockets and no sympathy for Margaret's squatting mansion. Margaret, VYS, escalated her crusade. She slapped a notice on Nathan's door for uneven lawn tufts, demanding compliance in 48 hours. She rallied an emergency HOA meeting, distributing flyers accusing Nathan of annexing community assets and branding him a rogue developer. Some neighbors, swayed by her theatrics, whispered nervously. One asked, "You're not bulldozing us, right?" Nathan reassured him, but Margaret's fear-mongering stirred unease. Then an anonymous email hit his inbox. Margaret's house never passed final inspection, foundation oversized, no variance filed. Nathan raced to the records office. The clerk unearthed a flagged folder, incomplete. Margaret's builder had extended her foundation without approval, securing only a temporary permit, never finalized. Her home was legally uninhabitable, compounding her trespass. Nathan smirked. This wasn't a dispute, it was a guillotine. Sarah said. Force her out for zoning violations or reclaim the land. Nathan chose spectacle. He hired a sign shop to craft a "For sale, land only" placard and planted it dead center on Margaret's lawn, under her prize hydrangeas. Her scream rattled windows as she tore it out, storming his porch, while VYing the sign. "This is harassment," she shrieked. Nathan stepped out calm. "I'm selling my land. Your house just happens to be on it without permits." Her face blanched, words failing. She fled, sign crumpled. At the next HOA meeting, held in a park to fit the crowd, Margaret read a manifesto accusing Nathan of land piracy and suburban terrorism. Midrant, a neighbor, a retired lawyer, stood. "Margaret, did your house pass final inspection?" Silence choked the air. She stammered, deflecting, but doubts spread. Rumors swirled, neighbors questioned her reign. She hosted a "Save Our Community" rally, but only 15 supporters waved signs like "Stop Corporate Greed." Most residents ignored her, mowing lawns or sipping lemonade. The rally fizzled. Margaret stood alone, shouting at passing cars. Then the hammer fell. A black Mercedes arrived, a woman in a tailored suit stepping out, a rep from Apex Ventures, Nathan's top bidder. Their offer, triple the land's value, came with a twist. Their consultant was a former zoning chief who'd clashed with Margaret's builder. "We've waited for this," she smirked. Nathan signed, transferring parcel 17B. Apex sent Margaret a certified letter requesting urgent discussions about her home's unauthorized presence. She ignored it. A second letter outlined land reclamation. Her swagger vanished, her clipboard a shield, her patrols listless. Apex filed a reclamation suit, demanding her home's removal or a buyout at the land's skyrocketed value far beyond her means. Legal fees drained her. Her husband, long silent, cracked at an Apex open house on the parcel, amid models of solar hubs and plazas. He grabbed the mic from Margaret mid-rant. "We didn't check the deeds. We built on land we didn't own. This is our fault." He walked off, Leah VYing her speechless. Her allies drifted away. Her social media went dark. Her lawn wilted. The court ruled swiftly, reviewing deeds and Apex's suit. The judge ordered Margaret to vacate within 30 days. Her foundations' overlap made her home untenable. She couldn't afford the land's new price. An EVY tie-in notice taped above her, "Welcome home," plaque sealed her fate. A MOVYing truck arrived. Workers loaded her furniture quietly. Margaret emerged last, sunglasses hiding red eyes, her posture brittle. She drove off without a glance, her fence a forgotten relic. Apex built a smart plaza with solar panels, a community garden, and a fountain. Nathan joined as a zoning consultant, shaping a space that honored freedom over control. Neighbors, once cowed, apologized for their silence, admitting Margaret's charisma had blinded them. The HOA collapsed. A new board, led by Mr. Rivera, prioritized transparency, scrapping fines and rules like the windmill ban. A Freedom Festival rang with defiant bells. A news feature. From fence to future. Went VY memes crowning Nathan. Land King. Reddit threads buzzed. She fenced his driveway. He owned her house. Nathan didn't revel in Margaret's ruin, only in truth's triumph. Apex's plaza opened with a plaque. Boundaries build progress. Margaret's pond became a wildflower patch, bees dancing. One night, Nathan saw her in a sedan, staring at the sight, eyes hollow. She drove away, a ghost of her reign. At a plaza barbecue, neighbors laughed, kids played, and Nathan raised a glass to a community unchained. The fence was gone, but its lesson lingered. Truth, not tyranny, redraws the lines. His dogs slept, the plaza glowed, and he smiled not for VY Tory, but for a neighborhood reborn.